Welcome to an urban church property. This is about 5 acres, and this is for the benefit of other institutional church property owners, business owners, homeowners, and fellow arborist, tree and landscape professionals, because the beginning of this project started with the city of this major city here, urban area, sending their city arborist out here condemning a tree that deserved to be condemned, as you'll see from the inserted picture here, and it cost them $3,500 to have that one tree removed, and it was a serious takeaway from the value of their landscape. They were very surprised, by the way, to find out after we did our original tree inventory that they had very close to 100 trees on this property, 95 to be exact. Each one of them have been tagged, numbered, measured, and evaluated, and we brought back to the membership a green committee which they formed at our urging to do 16 critical treatments of the trees that were most affected by deferred maintenance and poorly delivered cultural practices that you're going to see demonstrated throughout this job. And we show it to both end users, homeowners and church members, and to our fellow professionals to let them know that this is a start of a process. It's a journey, and we are never finished. We are never going to be completely done because of continuously changing seasons, because of extreme weather events, and because of changing budgetary requirements. The membership of this particular church happens to be older. They've lost a lot of their members through mortality. Funding has come down, and we must be efficient. We have to select the treatments that are most effective for the conditions we have discovered in our tree inventory process. And so, once again, we welcome you to this as a great learning experience for all of us, not only us, the membership, and you, but for anyone else that wishes to look at this presentation. Thank you so much. All right, I am now at a church property in an urban area. It's a campus composed of about 5 acres and a complex of buildings with about 100 trees. We were originally called, and the reason we're going to focus your attention onto this is naturally there's a whole lot of churches out there that you can go to with these kinds of presentations. And I'm standing on the spot where there was a 36-inch DBH maple that was condemned by the city and was requested to be removed as soon as possible. The church membership had an individual that called us in to give an opinion as to whether we agreed with what the city said or not. And after examining the tree and seeing that it was an improperly managed codominant stem with some tree cabling failures involved, that we then said yes, it needs to be taken down. And they paid $3,600 to have it removed. It's along a major thoroughfare right here. And our point to them was, we need to do a tree resource evaluation of all of the trees on the campus so that we can prevent this kind of loss in the future. The reason is that we, out of a tree resource evaluation that we proposed to them, I think we did it for $850. We went through, tagged, numbered, measured all the trees, and we found, out of the 100 that were here on the campus, we found 16 criticals that cost about $3,600 in combined tree preservation actions. The 6 tree preservation actions that we promote as a part of the Cheap to Keep Trees and Landscapes protocol system. And our point was simply, you could spend less money on all 16 of those trees and prevent a failure that could cost you as much as this one did for just one tree. Now, just to give you the kind of idea that you, as a consultative tree preservation person, would need to recommend is, as we did our walkthrough and began to examine, tag, number, and measure each of these trees, we found examples like this. We've got a maple behind me that is growing all the way up into and very competitive with the canopy of the larger oak tree, of which there are many. And as you can tell from the traffic noise, we are right on a major thoroughfare, and there are lots of cars going by. Additionally, we found that the 50-inch in diameter poplar tree here at the entrance to the sanctuary, the church building itself, had some decay issues around the collar because the collar had been covered and smothered with mulch and a layer of what appears to be filled dirt. And so what we did is put this in the critical category. 16 trees need to be done now. They're all together with all of the tree preservation actions. It would take 20 or 30 minutes to explain all of them. I'm not going to do that. That's not the purpose. Our idea now is these are just lay observations. This is what you can see by just walking through here and looking and consulting with the membership. We also told them, form a green committee, get the ideas from them as to who will look over this type of situation to approve the funding for it. And we found from just consulting and counseling with the powers that be here at the church that they wanted safe trees. They didn't want to spend any more money than they had to, and above all, they did not want to have to spend another $3,600 for removal of any of these big trees. They've got a church school here. They've got many activities going on. It is absolutely essential that they be safe, and so we went through to locate the most critical ones. We wrote this down. We proposed a plan of action. We, in addition to that, sent them a follow-up email with demonstration videos of each of the 6 tree preservation actions. That's the advantage of having a system where you've got the processes already packaged in a precise and a priced manner so that you can embed these in an email, send it to the secretary, tell the secretary whoever ends up on the green committee needs to have a copy of this email forwarded to them, and in the email you have video demonstrations of each of the tree preservation actions which are supposed to be performed to eliminate the 16 most critical problems here on this church campus. This is a parking lot traffic island. It is surrounded by treated wood, and in addition, this particular island, since it probably had a tree failure and had a replacement, this tree is smaller than the others, had an additional amount of curbing put around it and piled in here. This tree has severely been limited as to the amount of moisture and nutrients it can acquire because of these improvements, and it is part of the 16 criticals that we found. This is lay observations. All you have to do is look and see that a tree this size needs more rooting space, and after doing core sampling we found that there was nothing but hard rock-filled clay, worthless urban dirt. It's not even close to topsoil, and this needs to be enriched, aerated, fed, and watered. All right, this is decay, and it's because the root collar of this poplar tree, a very soft wood, you can see the ants, the decomposition here. We've got all of this mulch packed up against it, and we have found, our experience has been that once this root collar is clean, the tree can clean itself. We may have to do some micro injection. All of this is absolutely essential. The tree is 50 inches in diameter. It's right at the corner of the church building. It's right beside the parking lot, the playground. of the children, and it's right on the major thoroughfare that leads all traffic into this location. All right, our observations revealed on our initial walkthrough, we didn't have to dig for this very much. We've got 5 planted willow oaks right here that are all covered and smothered. They got decay at the bottom. We've got garden spots here that the church uses to promote a giveaway of vegetables. But a buffer area right here, which has been totally unmanaged, that has at least a dozen very large trees, and at this point no one knows exactly who owns them and who has the responsibility for them. So we are finding the line, we are determining condition, and we are eliminating the type of liabilities that come from what they experienced when they spent $3,600 for the maple takedown. I am about to take you to the base of this huge 47-inch DBH willow oak tree that is the focal point of what they call their sacred garden, a columbarium, where they've got spaces where the cremated remains of our loved ones are placed. And there are some problems associated with it that we felt like ought to be addressed immediately, and were included in with the original 16, although that's not immediately evident as to what's wrong, but you can see some thinning, you can see the size of it. Now let's go to the bottom of it and I'll show you exactly what I mean. All right, now as you can see, this mushroom is growing right out of the decayed portion of this root. You can see where the ants, see all the ants coming out there now? See that? All right, that comes from decay. This is a secondary response. Some people will say this ant is killing the tree. It is not. These ants are here exploiting the decay that has been created by piling all of this mulch up around the tree. Let me see if I can get a little bit more loose. And you can see where it's become a part of the tree itself. Here's another real good picture of where the wood fiber, this is all wood fiber. This is not a mushroom. That is wood that has been rotted because of the mushroom that is feasting upon it and accelerating its demise. I can pull a little bit more. See these wood fibers? This grows right out of it and it sucks the moisture and the life right out of the tree. We could take this out, and right now, and this is a part of the 16 criticals, I believe. Altogether, this tree was a $550 bid in order to clear this up, feed it, micro-inject it, and protect it from further decay.